Welcome to Finest City Insider. Today we have Mario Q with Finest City Homes and Loans. Welcome, Mario.
Eric, thank you very much, man. It's really an honor to be here with you.
Absolutely. Let's get right into it. So, Mario, my first question for you is, what actually got you into mortgages, and what are some of the big changes you've seen since you've been in the industry?
Okay, so just gonna break up my answer into what got me into mortgages was a couple of things. I studied finance in college. And when I was in my university in college, I took a bunch of real estate classes. One of those classes was a real estate finance class, and I always knew I wanted to get into real estate. I just didn't know what branch of real estate. And when I took this class, being a finance class, we talk about mortgages, about appraisals, and that really caught my attention. So it was a little bit of that, and then I was born and raised in Mexico. My family is from Mexico. We came to the US, we came to San Diego when I was 17. So like 12, 13 years ago. And when I saw that my family had the opportunity to buy their first property, I really saw that my dad was struggling because we just didn't knew the system, or like he was used to like, okay, I know how to buy a property in Mexico. And he just didn't knew the system on how to buy a property in the United States. So, just seeing that firsthand, I think that's one of my missions, is to be able to help families, immigrants, or, regardless of your background, be able to provide that education. And what I have been seeing in the market lately is, I started during COVID. I started in COVID times, 2019, 2020, and, obviously 2021. The rates are completely different. It's a different story. It's a different game.
The COVID rates, the 2% interest rates.
The 2-3% interest rates. And funny enough, I was talking to you about this, that I was working with a VA client that I actually was able to refinance. And her rate was 1.875%.
Wow.
Yeah, 1.875. Yeah. That is the lowest rate that I have personally seen. And I worked on it. It was very cool, but it's just crazy how things change, and we are transitioning into a different market in where I really believe that things are getting better compared to last year.
I agree with you.
Because for a moment we were in the high sevens, and maybe
almost 8%.
Yeah, almost 8%.
And I was looking at, our graph of when we were, and that was just 18 months ago.
Yeah.
What would you say the average 30-year fix is now?
So let's just say average conventional 6.5. So 1.5% lower, that's, just guesstimating in a ballpark, that's probably like $1,000 in savings. 1.5% interest rate, that's only like $1,000, $1,100 in savings.
And I was looking at that, $1,000 in savings, it's almost $125,000 to
purchase price.
$150,000 in a mortgage.
Yeah. So you have more purchase power at a lower rate. So I think things are getting better. And I just think we need to transition into a market in where we need to educate our clients, and for us to educate them, we need to educate it. So we need to have a lot of tools, a lot of equipment in our backpack.
Yeah, absolutely.
to go out there and crush it.
And with that being said, just thinking about your answers all together, what a special thing to be able to, have that experience with your parents, and then from that experience want to help and give to others.
Yeah.
And I think what has just the years being in the business as well, always looking at reflections and looking back. Let's face it, the 2% interest rates days are gone.
Oh, yeah.
But that was a very easy way to be into the business and transact.
Yes.
At the end of the day, as much as I'd love to say it, professionalism always matters, but it wasn't that difficult to sell a home at a 2% interest rate. When rents were X amount, clearly home ownership was the obvious answer.
Yep.
But now, with a bit fewer transactions, and let's not lie, affordability is an issue. It really takes a professional to be able to guide people in the right direction, and someone who really understands the value of home ownership is long-term.
Yeah, and I think the key word that you said, it was transact. We are not, and I really believe this, and I think this is one of the core values of Finest City, actually, or of your business and my business, is I don't think I'm on a transactional business.
Absolutely.
I think we're on a relationship business.
Yes.
And we're here to help clients, educate clients, and we are here for the long run. Like, even after the close of escrow, the relationship continues.
Absolutely.
And I'm always there for my clients. Last week, one of my clients was asking me about other loan programs. Another client was asking me if I could recommend a real estate attorney. Another client was asking if I could recommend a handyman to fix their washer and dryer.
Sure.
So I want to be a resource before, during, and after the transaction.
Absolutely. And I love that too, and with the longevity in the business, understanding that, you are going to sell a family a home and a 7% interest rate. And as rates eventually go down, you have the opportunity to refinance them and save them money in the future. So I always look at that as, being more of, a consultant. And like you said, the relationship doesn't stop, because oftentimes kind of the hard part is when you're a first-time home buyer accepting that mortgage payment.
Yeah.
But after you finally accept that mortgage payment, you realize that almost every time after that final payment, it gets easier and easier. And it's great to be able to, lower their payments or provide other additional resources to constantly improve their home scenario.
Yeah, and now that we're talking about refinances and stuff, I did close a couple of clients last year in the mid 7%. I was able to refinance one of them into the mid 6s, so 1% lower. So yeah, they were able to save money, but they got used to that payment. So they're like still paying that.
Wow.
So all the extra money that they're paying is, it's going directly into their principal.
Amazing.
So they're going to be able to finish paying their mortgage faster.
Yeah, that's amazing. And again, I think that's not talked about enough is
exactly
the mortgage accelerating with even just a little bit amount extra towards principal shaves off years of a mortgage.
And years of interest.
Yeah, that's right. Thousands of hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, okay. The other thing that I've observed and that I've loved watching as your business has been growing, and without a doubt, all credit goes to you for your drive and your commitment to the business. And I see how you operate with your clients. But despite not only your clients, like your actual borrowers, but I've seen your business grow with your realtor partners. What would you say, the value add, or why do you think you're starting to work with a lot more realtors?
I think it kind of happened by accident a little bit. But obviously you are one of my mentors, and I have so much respect for you. And when I ask you and other people in the business, like, how do I grow my business? How do I elevate? How do I get to the next level? There's many components to it, right? But one of the answers is, as a loan officer, work with different realtors. But obviously being in the space 24/7, you wake up thinking of mortgages, interest rates.
Absolutely.
You have nightmares with interest rates sometimes.
I can relate.
So you're thinking about this 24/7, and you're in the space, you're in the environment 24/7. So naturally, my realtor partners, it started as a friendship.
Sure.
It started as, I'm not asking them for their business. It's sort of like really a true friend, like, how was your day? Let's go grab a beer. Let's go grab a drink. Let's go for coffee. After that, obviously, like, we both been in the industry, it transitions sometimes until like, okay, let's talk about business. What can we do here? Do you have this loan program? And I think after that, one of the things that I really, really pride myself is in communication and efficiency. So throughout the years, we're always improving, obviously, but I have been able to build a system that keeps everyone communicated from start to finish, and even after the transaction.
Wow, even after, that's great.
So that system is gonna call, is gonna text, is gonna send an email to all the parties involved in a purchase or refinance transaction, and even after the fact, they're gonna keep getting updated. So I think that is something that my agents really appreciate, because
Absolutely.
we're gonna be there for you guys,
and you're providing certainty. I think at the end of the day, there's no way to over communicate.
Exactly.
And we always want to, and that's what I've noticed with you is you really want to contact, whether it's the agent or the client, before they contact you. And I've seen that with your systems, and it makes perfect sense. And not only that, I think the variety of products and your understanding of mortgages. You're not just providing one option. We realize that everybody doesn't have the cookie cutter scenario. Having access to your broker options, I'm sure just does a difference, and with pricing as well.
Yeah, of course. I think everything is super important, and I was actually just in my computer, just preparing for this, obviously, and trying to get some statistics. And I was pulling out my average CTC in 2025. It's
Average
8
CTC clear to close?
clear to close. Yeah, sorry. My
Okay.
average clear to close, 8.56 days.
Wow,
So,
8.56 days. That is amazing.
So
less than 10 days.
Less than 10 days. So when you tell
Wow.
that to an agent, but it's not just telling it, like it's actually showing it.
Sure.
And when you show it, when you prove it, and when they're like, oh wow, okay, we can really trust in Mario, in Eric, that gives them confidence of like, okay, we can, if we need to put an aggressive offer and if we need to close in 12, 14 days,
Sure.
or sometimes even 10 days, I have some agents that are really, really
Yeah, and let's face
aggressive.
it, with inventory being up, it's still relatively low. So sometimes, there's that one home that the buyer is interested in. So
Yeah, exactly.
to have the right agent and lender combination really does make the world of a difference. We're not doctors and saving lives, but we are responsible of life-changing events.
It's probably the biggest financial decision of a family, or
Yeah.
one of the biggest.
I'd have to agree
Yeah.
with you. All right, Mario, so I'm going to change the vibe a little bit. I love this question, and I love our stories. I mean, I think one of the best things about our business is we never really have the same day. It's
Yeah,
always,
it is very dynamic.
it's very dynamic. There's always, unexpected things that could happen within our day. We've got some, of course, selling homes and providing home ownership is a serious thing and it means a lot to us, but we do have some funny moments in our business. So
Yep.
what can you say is one of the wildest or craziest things that's happened to you in an open house?
I will say we have funny moments and scary moments,
Sure.
unexpected moments, but this happened. I joined Finance City in 2023, and this happened just a few months after joining Finance City. I started working with an agent, Malik Bob.
Oh, yes, Malik. Shout out to Malik.
Exactly. We love Malik. This guy, I really want to take just a minute here because he's such a hardworking guy. And
He is. I
when
noticed that right away.
when we started, we connected because we had that same mindset.
Okay.
And he does open houses every single weekend. He puts like 30, 35 signs.
I've seen the signs.
He's
He's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. Anyways, I was doing an open house with him in National City. We get to the open house. Of course, the leasing agent didn't give Malik the code to enter the property. So I will say for the first 30 minutes, we were just like out there sitting in the porch.
Did anybody show up?
Families were coming by. Malik was like, yeah, I'll show you the outside of the property.
How many times can you show, the exterior stucco
Yeah,
windows?
beautiful window, beautiful door, beautiful ceiling, beautiful roof. Minutes go by. This guy responds to Malik. We're able to enter the property. So, we are, you get into the house, you turn on the lights, you open the
Yes.
doors, you put the music, you
Setting
put the vibe,
Yeah.
water bottles, snacks, whatever, right? So as we are like doing our setup, opening the doors of all the bedrooms, etc., this guy just like walks out of a bedroom out of nowhere.
Someone's in the house?
Someone was in the house. He's like a 20-year-old guy, like surf dude with long hair in his PJs.
And he wasn't the seller?
He definitely wasn't the seller. And he literally was like, I still remember, he was like, yo, what's up? We were like, what's up with
That
you?
would be my normal reaction if someone came into my house and started
Yeah.
setting up.
Yeah, yo, what's up? Like, what's up with you? What's going on? So it just turned into a funny conversation. Turns out the seller was doing Airbnb
Okay.
individual bedrooms. So he was renting that bedroom for the weekend, and he just wasn't aware that there was an open house, and seems like
You added to his stay, to his vacation.
it added to his vacation. Seems like he
Did he hang around for the open house or what?
for a little bit. I mean, and funny enough, he was asking a bunch of questions like, "Oh, I want to buy a house, etc., etc."
Oh, you're kidding me. It became a lead.
It became a lead. It hasn't converted yet, but we did have a conversation with him and his mom
Oh, that's great.
about possibly buying in San Diego. Again, hasn't converted, but
You never know. Sometimes they're ready tomorrow. Sometimes they're ready in a couple of years, right?
you meet your clients in the most unexpected ways. So
That's funny. Well, I can't wait to hear the rest of that story and how it concludes.
yes, please.
Well, good deal. Okay, so Mario, I like this question because I think this is a very important one.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it earlier is sometimes the lack of education in our business. And I know we're so passionate about home ownership. So this question is important to me. But what would you say if you wanted maybe a first-time home buyer, really anybody in the industry, something that is maybe assumed or not really known what is the one thing that you think everybody should know about our business if they're interested in buying?
Oof, there's a lot of things.
Sure.
Number one, I will say go talk to a broker.
Okay.
Hopefully it's me.
Yes.
But go talk to a broker because it's gonna make a life of a difference. It's gonna be, it's honestly in the best benefit of the client to talk to a broker. I was a direct lender before, changed to a broker world for that reason, because I was seeing that consumers will be getting more of a benefit.
It really is better
Yes.
for the consumer and almost
So-
all parties, agents and everybody.
Exactly. So it was not a decision made for myself. It was a decision made for the client.
That makes sense.
So that will be number one, just because being a broker, you have access to so many programs that a direct lender or a retail bank are not, they're just not gonna have access
You're
to.
loyal to the client, not loyal to the bank.
Exactly. And then don't be afraid to ask about any down payment assistance programs,
Down
because
payment assistance program.
there are so many. Unfortunately, a lot of lenders don't promote them because you already know, like, they do require a little bit more of work.
Sure, a little more work.
There are more requirements, there are more guidelines, there's more paperwork involved. So I will say it's more work for both the lender and for the client, right? But if they are willing to put in the work, if they qualify for it, it can be a huge help. And I can tell you, in July, we closed a transaction with one of our Finance City agents. We closed a San Diego down payment assistance loan that not a lot of people in San Diego know about it. It is one of those like hidden gems. For some reason, it's not talked about that much. Long story short, we were able to help the buyer qualify. We got them a down payment assistance of 22%.
Wow, 22% down payment.
22% down payment
What, did the
assistance.
borrower have to come in with any money at all?
Yes, so one of the requirements, they came in with 3%.
3%. Wow.
So now that 22%, you as a lender, you can break it down however you want to. So what I chose in this scenario, I did 20% for the down payment and 2% for closing costs.
Help with the closing costs
exactly.
as well. Amazing.
So that 2% combined with a seller credit that we were able to get, essentially the client didn't come with any money for closing costs, just the 3% that was applied directly towards his principal. So what happens is, you have a big down payment, so your payments are lower. And because you have more than 20% down, you don't have mortgage insurance, right? So it was a huge help.
So this client got the benefit of a program just as if they were putting 20% down.
Yeah.
Same rate and everything. That's incredible.
Even a better rate, honestly. The rates are very competitive. If you qualify for this down payment assistance, definitely give me a call to see your options, but the rates are extremely competitive.
We really need more exposure to this. And we talk about it all the time that, even though we say it that not everyone knows they can buy with less than 20%.
Yep.
It really is a thing that not everyone knows. And this is an additional step to it. Down payment assistance programs. Wow. That's great, Mario.
So, there's so many programs. Like I said, talk to a broker because we have more tools. And I don't say this to brag about myself or Finance City or anything about it, but I really believe that we have more tools and we're better equipped than just going the traditional retail or direct lender route.
Absolutely. And Mario, I also really, this is an important question to me. But before I ask the question, I want to say that, love watching your growth and, your commitment to your clients, and really honored to have you part of the Finance City team. And I want to ask this, because there's so many brokerages here in San Diego specifically, why Finance City? Why Finance City Homes and Loans?
Oof. This question and this answer, it's also very close to my heart as well, because it's by far the best decision that I made. So before joining Finance City, and I've talked to you about this, I had everything lined up to join someone else, to join another broker. And then out of nowhere, I was just scrolling on Instagram, this other agent that was at Finance City, I saw his post and everything. I was like, dude, tell me more about Finance City. Like this, you have a lot of trainings, the culture seems amazing, the office is freaking nice as well. Like if you ever get a chance to come visit us in Bankers Hill, please,
Absolutely.
it's such a vibe. So I went to one of your trainings in the beginning of 2023, I believe.
Sure.
So I went to one of your trainings and I immediately fell in love. Like everyone was asking like, oh, like, what's your name? Like, welcome. They were so welcoming, even though like this is the first time that I'm meeting everyone. And I'm like, okay, like I really feel like this is a family.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think Finance City has helped me so much to grow my career because, and you know this, we've had a lot of conversations. And one of the first conversations, the first questions that you asked me, what are your goals? How many transactions do you want to make a year? How much money do you plan on making? And I told you a number, and like fast forward, that number it's like
it's in the past.
It's in the past.
You've
like
far surpassed that.
Yeah, and I'm super happy and proud of myself. But I always say like it couldn't be without your help and Finance City.
Honestly, I love to hear that, Mario, and. You know, I have heard that in a repeated time, but I also can't take credit, you know, or just the credit, because it really is, it's a special place to me too, because it's for all of you guys are the ones that everyone has a sense of ownership in the brand. And I love the collaboration and that we all really build each other up. And there's more than just, you know, selling a home or completing a loan transaction. There's a future in real estate. And also we prepare for, you know, retirement at some point too. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. And of course, really honored that you're part of Finance City, of course. So let's switch up the vibe a little bit and back to some funny, you know, icebreakers. I love to add these. Close it out with this or that.
Okay, let's
try to make it a little realistic. So let me think of a few. So would you rather work with sellers who only want to sell based on the Zillow estimate?
Okay.
Or work with buyers who bring their parents to every showing? It's a tough one.
Oh my God. Very funny question, because I had this scenario in January, February. I was going to start the year so strong. I was motivated. I was excited. One of our transactions, I was working it with this agent of mine. The buyer is like, hey, my mom really wants to come see a property. My mom really, you know, she really, really wants to see a property. They bring the mom. She hated the property. Like in her mind, it was the worst investment ever, the worst property ever.
Did they buy the property?
No.
Okay. See, it makes a difference.
Yeah, it makes
Being
a difference.
Parent, shout out to parents out there, but you know, we can
and
only buy what we can afford.
They haven't bought yet. They haven't bought anything, but hopefully soon. But definitely gonna go with the Zillow.
Okay, got it. Makes sense. All right. So, and I see you're a coffee drinker. I see that.
Oh yeah, I cannot survive without a cup of coffee.
Good. Okay, this is a good question for you then.
Okay.
Would you rather give up coffee for life, so never drink coffee again?
No.
Or give you don't even have to hear the answer. Or give up not having a phone for a week. So clients are texting you, calling you, no phone for a week, no communication, or coffee for life.
Coffee for life.
Oh,
coffee
okay,
for
it's
life.
that important. I got it.
It's that important.
Okay, you can get your phone back, right?
Yeah, I'll get my phone back. I can work from my computer. I have emails, and we'll figure out. But I cannot live without coffee.
All right. Yeah. Fair enough. Well, speaking of clients, would you rather have the client text message at a client texts you at 5 a.m. Please call me, or the client that actually calls you at midnight?
It's funny because obviously you have like all type of clients, and we've all had those type of clients. But I think
and you are open 24/7. So
we are open 24/7. Yeah, and I do have that client that you know, he wakes up at 4:30 a.m. and he's like, Mario, give me a call right now. I do have that client. I'm not gonna say names because he's one of my best clients. But I rather have my midnight calls.
Midnight calls. Okay, so you're more of a night person.
I am more of a night person. For some reason, I don't know, like at night, like my creative mind starts flowing and I can come up with different strategies.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that's all I've got. Thank you so much, Mario, for joining me in this Finance City Insider episode. And thanks, guys, for listening.
Thank you, guys.